Welcome to the Careers by Jen podcast, episode 152. Today on the podcast, Jen discusses how to be a great team player. Remember, there's no I in team. But then there's no I in useless, smug podcast opener guy either. And there's 4 in platitude quoting idiot. Go figure.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Careers by Jen podcast, where I help you to get the job, to love your work, and to advance your career. It's storm season here again, so if you hear noise in the background, it's very windy outside today, outside the studio, and wow, is it wet. I seem to be wearing my rubber boots, my rain boots everywhere these days, and there are pools of water everywhere, and it's just really dark. I guess it's good for the garden, but it's a tough time of year for a lot of people, this November rainy season, at least where I live, because of the darkness and the lack of light and the gloom. So I'm hoping that we're bringing a little bit of light into your day by having you listen to this today. I'm going to ask you to come over and visit the Careers by Jen website if you can, even for a moment or two. I'm having trouble since our rebrand with Google finding the website. It seems to have forgotten we exist, and what used to be hundreds of visits every week is down to hardly any right now. And I think I just need a bunch of people to come over and look at the website, visit the website. You don't have to do anything there, but just come over and look at it, and then Google will notice and pick it back up again. But I'm trying not to stress out too much about it. I've resubmitted it to Google, and I hope that you might take 5 seconds to come to careersbyjen.com and just take a peek, and that will help get us back up in the rankings. Well, today I want to talk to you about what it means to be a great team player. And this is a question that will get asked at almost every single job interview. And it is a question that is often asked also in performance reviews. And being a team player is a quality people pretty much always list on resumes. And why, you might ask? Well, it's because most jobs out there require us to work with other people, even some of the time. Even if it's a job that is mostly solitary, there will be a project that needs doing, or a presentation, or some kind of collaboration where you will need to work with other people. In most jobs, not in every job, of course, but in most job situations. And so it's an important thing. It's a quality that employers look for, and it's a quality, again, that many people list, most people list on their resumes. And there are very few jobs out there that have absolutely zero teamwork involved. So writing that you are a team player on your resume is fine, but then what's going to happen is you're going to be asked to quantify that. You're going to be asked how you have shown that you are a team player. What specific qualities make you good or great at being a team player, and you're going to be asked for hard examples as to when or where you have been able to do that. And these are good things to have thought about before you get into an interview situation. And again, these are questions that could come up in a performance review. I just helped to complete a performance review in one of my roles today, this afternoon, and there was, the question was there asking if the person we were reviewing worked well in a group environment. So being able to specifically say what you're good at is important. And even more importantly, if you are not good at this, or if there are parts of it that you are not good at, then you're in the right place, because there will be areas that you can take and work on and use as goals to aim for, so that you become better at them before your next interview or before your next performance review, or even just for yourself if you'd like to be able to get along better in a team if you're having a struggle with that. If it's difficult for you to work in a team environment, then breaking it all out into what exactly makes a great team player might be useful for you. And so that's what my hope is, that everything that we do here is of value and of use to you. So being a team player is not all sunshine and roses. It can be really hard to play well with others, especially when some team members don't do what they're supposed to do. Working on a team can be frustrating. And it's worth figuring out how to do it well, because being a great team player can open you up to new career opportunities, to career advancement opportunities. Leaders and supervisors will notice your efforts if you're doing a good job as part of a team, and you might get asked to do things subsequently that will further your goals and further your career. A team needs diversity. A diversity of people, a diversity of experience, a diversity of perspective, of skills, of gifts, of voices and opinions in order to function effectively. We can't and we shouldn't all agree all of the time, because then we would become stagnant and uncreative. Disagreement in a team and conflict, and remember that conflict doesn't always mean a knockdown, drag out fight. Conflict can simply mean a difference of opinion. But things like disagreement and conflict breed conversation. And that breeds collaboration and creativity, which can then lead to innovation and new energy. So having disagreement, having differing opinions is a good thing. That makes a team more dynamic. That makes a team more interesting, and it's far better to be able to have these conversations and wrestle with stuff and then go forward when everybody has bought into what it is that you're doing. A friend and a colleague of mine, Alf Dumont, said this today, and I asked him if I could quote him, and he said yes. He said, "We need to be open to all voices, because even in the dissenting voices, there is wisdom, sometimes obvious, sometimes hidden." So true. So true. Doesn't mean we like what everyone says, but it's good to sit with what's said to see if you can tease out that wisdom, because usually it's there somewhere. On any given team, there are some people who are great at dreaming. There are some people who are great at strategizing and imagining things into existence. Others love to implement and be very practical and task-oriented. Some see the big picture or the vision, while others focus on the details and getting some stuff done. And others spend time building connections and relationships and encouraging and motivating the other people in the team. There are a variety of roles needed in any efficient and effective team. And so figuring out what skills and gifts that you have and where you fit into your particular team or your potential team, and what you might need to work on to improve your team player attitude is a very valuable use of your time and will benefit you in the end, because you won't be good at everything. You won't be good at absolutely every quality that I list later on. And that's okay, because if you're able to specifically say, I'm really good at motivating and encouraging others, or I am a big picture thinker, and I recognize that I spend a lot of time on the bigger vision and the bigger goal, but that's what makes me a valuable asset to a team. See, it's very, very specific. So let's start first with the dictionary definition of team player. A team player is a person who plays or works well as a member of a team or a group. Okay, so that sounds pretty straight up, pretty straightforward. And again, no one is going to ace all of the traits and qualities that make up the perfect team player. So this perfect team player who has all of these traits and qualities exists only in my mind. And so don't beat yourself up about the fact that you will not have all of these or be excellent at all of these. And that is okay. We all have areas that we can improve on. Every single one of us could do work on this if we wanted to. If you're needing to answer the question, what are your weaknesses, or what would you like to improve upon, or what are your growing edges, then I would guess there would be an area or two in this list that I'm about to share with you that you could use for that answer. That you could say, I would like to I'm great at the big picture. I would like to learn to focus more on the little details or something like that. So you can use these in many ways, not just to set goals and to improve what you're already doing, but to identify areas that you would like to improve upon, and then use that to answer the question, what areas do you need to improve in? All right, so let's get started on this list of 15. These are 15 qualities or traits that make a great team player. A great team player is reliable. If you say you're going to do something, then you actually do it. People don't have to wonder if you're going to fulfill your commitments. They don't have to think about it twice. They don't have to check up on you. They don't have to micromanage you, because you do what you say you will do, and people can count on that. You meet deadlines. You show up on time to meetings and things that you're supposed to be at. You have reports ready. You are doing what you say you're going to do, and you are reliable. That is absolutely a key quality. A team player, number 2, listens well. Going back to the quote from my friend Alf, you might not like what you hear, but a team player is willing to listen because there's wisdom in what's being said, even if you don't like it or don't agree with it. A team player communicates clearly, effectively, and confidently. So you speak up if you disagree, and you speak up if you agree, and you ask clarifying questions if you don't understand, and you seek to be thorough and to make sure that what you are sharing with others is received properly, so that if you make a communication, you check to see that everyone is on the same page and everyone understands what it is that you're saying. So clear, effective, confident communication is a really key quality for a team player. A team player goes above and beyond within reason. You're willing to help out, and you do your bit, and you do a little bit more, but not to the point of taking over or doing the work that others are supposed to be doing but aren't doing, because then you become an enabler. So there's self-awareness in there. You go above and beyond, you give it your 110% or whatever the cliche is, but you do that within reason. You don't start taking over for everybody else or compensating for people who aren't doing their work, because then you're stepping outside the bounds of what you've been tasked with. So that's number 4. You go above and beyond within reason. Number 5, a team player is flexible and adapts quickly to changing situations. When you're working on a project, or you're working with a team, or you're on the floor doing something, working with the public, or, things happen. And so a key, and keep saying that word, a key quality, a great quality, is to be able to be flexible, to think on the fly, and to make changes and adapt when you need to. A great team player is committed. You're all in. You are part of that team. You don't go rogue. You don't do stuff on your own. You work collaboratively with the team. Number 7, a team player works for the good of the group or the team or the organization. Again, you aren't self-serving. You're not seeking glory or reward, although it is important to be acknowledged and recognized for your contribution, but that's not the reason you're doing it. You are working for the good of the whole, and you aren't willing to throw others under the bus. And I was talking to my daughter about this topic and what I was going to be doing, and she said that's a pet peeve of hers, is throwing other people under the bus. If you know what I mean by that expression, blaming others or pinning the blame on others if things don't go well. So be careful about that. You're working in a collaborative way with others to further the work of the team. Number 8, a team player understands the goals of the group and considers time, budget, their own responsibility, and is accountable for their own actions, and understands who they are accountable to and who they are accountable for. That's a big one. So you understand the goals of the group, why you're working in this group. Maybe it's a mission statement, a vision statement. Maybe it's a particular project, and you understand the reason behind it. And as that, you are a good steward of time, budget, your own responsibility, and you're accountable for your actions. Number 9 is that a team player supports others and is respectful even when there is disagreement. So if you are there working as a team, you are supporting the other people, and even if you don't agree with someone else, you remain respectful in that disagreement. Number 10 is a team player is aware of the different styles of work and the different conflict styles and is able to deal with different personalities, and in some cases, difficult personalities. We've all worked on teams where we've had to work with difficult people, worked in work situations where we've had to work with difficult people. So that is a key quality of a great team player is someone who can manage that. Again, you don't have to agree with them, you don't even have to like them, but to be able to be respectful and work with somebody is a very useful quality to have. Number 11, a team player shares information openly and is not secretive with it or self-serving. You are open with your information, you are giving credit where credit is due, and you expect to be credited for the work that you do properly as well. And you're not hiding stuff, and you're not doing things to make yourself look good at the expense of others. That's an important aspect. Number 12 is a team player. A great team player is forward thinking and has a generally positive attitude. Number 13, a team player cooperates, collaborates, and is motivated. Number 14, a team player has the ability to problem solve because problems will come up, and you don't have to be the main problem solver if you're working in a group, but to join in together and step back and look at something and see if you can come up with a solution when problems arise is an important ability to have. And the 15th one is a great team player has the ability to be assertive and to set clear boundaries. And assertiveness is really important when you're working with other people so that you don't get run over and so that you don't run other people over, so that you work together as a true member of a team. And if you're not that assertive and you'd like to learn a little bit more about that, I've got 2 podcasts that have been published over the years on assertiveness. I think there's How to Be Assertive and How to Be Assertive 2.0. And I don't have the numbers of those right off the top of my head, but they are, if you do a search on the website or you do a search in whatever podcast platform you're listening to this in, you should be able to find it. And they're different episodes, they have different information, but they are both aimed at helping you to become more assertive if that's a skill that you would like to work on. And there is something you might say in your, what are your strengths and weaknesses section of your interview. I'm working at being more assertive. That's a perfectly valid answer to offer. So 15 or so traits or qualities that make up a great team player, and I doubt there is one person who is great at all of these things except the great team player in my mind, but it is a good list to aim for and to set some goals around. And I have created a downloadable PDF for you with all of these listed. And so you can come over to the Careers by Jen website, careersbyjen, JENN.com, and come to the show notes page for episode 152 under the podcast tab, and there will be a link there where you can download a free PDF file that has all of these traits listed, and that way you can take the sheet and you can circle what you're good at, you can write down some goals around what you want to work on, you could use it to help yourself figure out how to answer that question in an interview or a performance review interview that you have coming up. So I've created that for you. And again, it is available at the careersbyjen.com website on the show notes for episode 152. And I think I'll even put it on the Careers by Jen Facebook page in the next day or so, and maybe tweet it out. I don't know, but it will be a free download, and you'll be able to print that out and use that for your own growth and your own purposes. So thank you so much for listening to this episode and for taking time out of your busy life and your busy day to be with me on this blustery, windy November night. And I am looking forward to talking to you again in the near future. If anybody is in the Vancouver area, I will be on the 24th of November, which is just tomorrow, I guess. If you're listening to this the day it comes out on Thursday, there is a book signing table. I'm going to be with a couple of other authors, and we're going to have a table where we've got our books on display at the Delta Hospital. And we'll be there during the day, I don't know, 9 to 3, something like that. And if you're in the area and you are a podcast listener, come on by and say hi and let me know. And let me know that you're a podcast listener, and I would love to say hello. Anyhow, that's all I've got for you today. Until next time, take time to work on you, because you are your best investment. This is Jen Swanson. Talk to you soon.